They say to never let a good crisis go to waste, and the media has taken full advantage of the coronavirus panic currently sweeping America. During a time of mass hysteria resulting in empty grocery store shelves, people fighting over toilet paper, streets that are void of traffic, and a potential future economic depression, many are looking to the media to make sense of what's going on around the world. And more importantly, how our president is handling the situation. However, instead of focusing on informing the public, the media has wasted no time in adding to the panic through their spread of misinformation on how the president has been handling this crisis. Let's start off with some of the media's earliest reporting on President Trump's responding to the coronavirus. When stories of COVID-19 infections began making their way to the U.S., some of the first stories we saw out of the media in relation to Trump's response were about how he called the coronavirus a hoax.
So, the president's handling this has been terrible. He spent weeks denying it. He called it a hoax, and there will be real consequences to that. People will suffer, people will die because he dismissed it as a hoax.
We're hearing it every step of the way from this administration. First, we were hearing it was a hoax. Then we were hearing that everything was fine.
However, many were quick to point out the actual context of his quote was that the Democrats were pushing that Trump was not doing a good job of responding to the coronavirus and that this was their new hoax. Not that he thought that the coronavirus was a hoax.
You were down in Charleston last night using the word hoax when talking about Democrats. Somebody now is dead from this. Do you regret that kind of talk?
No. Hoax referring to the action that they take to try and pin this on somebody because we've done such a good job. The hoax is on them. I'm not talking about what's happening here. I'm talking what they're doing. That's the hoax. That's just a continuation of the hoax, whether it's the impeachment hoax or the Russia hoax. This is what I'm talking about. Certainly not referring to this. How could anybody refer to this? This is very serious stuff.
But even after this was already debunked to be a misconstrued statement, it was already repeated by various media personalities, politicians like AOC, and even presidential candidate Joe Biden.
I'll be damned if I'm going to lose my country to this man at all.
Ready? Cameras rolling.
Bing, bing, bing. Global warming, and a lot of it's a hoax.
Coronavirus. This is their new hoax.
Even PolitiFact rated Joe Biden's ad as false, stating that the video was edited to make it look like Trump called the coronavirus a hoax. However, the damage was already done, and the video already received over 300,000 views on Twitter. But the media and politicians didn't stop there. As the demand for respirators and ventilators in hospitals throughout the U.S. began to rise, the president, on a phone call to the nation's governors, suggested that they should cut out the middleman, aka the federal government, and if they wish to take initiative, could expedite the process for themselves, sharing that the point of sales would be much more direct and that either way the federal government would still be backing them.
But we are backing you in terms of equipment and getting what you need. Also, the respirators, ventilators, all of the equipment, try getting it yourselves. We will be backing you, but try getting it yourself. Point of sale, much better, much more direct if you can get it yourself.
However, New York Times reporters paraphrased his quote on Twitter and began to spread the new narrative that Trump was telling governors and U.S. states that they were on their own. Luckily, Florida Governor Ron DeSantis clarified the president's quote, sharing with reporters that what Trump was actually saying was, again, to basically cut out the middleman and that his suggestion was sensible. And this wasn't the first time the New York Times tried to falsely spin a quote. They also put out an article sharing that Mike Pence was controlling the flow of coronavirus information that was coming out of the White House, effectively muzzling Dr. Anthony Fauci, head of the National Institute of Allergy and Infectious Diseases. However, this turned out to be fake as well.
The report said, quote, Dr. Fauci has told associates that the White House had instructed him not to say anything else without clearance. Are you operating under the normal clearance or normal procedures for getting out public health information?
That was completely misconstrued, Chris. I'm not being muzzled. Everybody who gets on shows like this, you have a normal clearance. I was cleared here, and here I am talking to you, and I'll give you the whole truth the way I always have.
NBC also shared the fake news spotlight after their reporter asked what Trump would say to Americans who are scared during this current pandemic.
What do you say to the Americans who are scared, though? I guess nearly 200 dead, 14,000 who are sick, millions, as you witnessed, who are scared right now. What do you say to Americans who are watching you right now who are scared?
I say that you're a terrible reporter. That's what I say. I think it's a very nasty question, and I think it's a very bad signal that you're putting out to the American people. The American people are looking for answers, and they're looking for hope. And you're doing sensationalism.
But of course, in true mainstream media fashion, the reporters began to circulate only a portion of the quote, completely omitting the part where Trump shares that sensationalism is what is currently scaring many Americans. And for those of you who aren't Trump fans and think he could still have used the opportunity to calm Americans' fears, CNN came out with this article that exact same day. Trump peddles unsubstantiated hope in dark times. So no matter how he answered this question, he still would have been bad. As you can see, the media has been using Trump's daily press briefings to attack him and also perpetuate their newest outrage that it is now racist to call the coronavirus the Chinese virus or Wuhan virus. Even though this is a virus that originated in China, was hidden for weeks by China, and became a global pandemic because of China.
Okay, why do you keep calling this the Chinese virus? There are reports of dozens of incidents of bias against Chinese Americans in this country. Your own aide, Secretary Azar, says he does not use this term. He says ethnicity does not cause the virus. Why do you keep using this? A lot of people say it's racist.
It's not racist at all, no, not at all. It comes from China. That's why. Comes from China.
And let's not forget that just weeks before, this same media, now enraged at the president for being what they deem racist, were using the exact same terms.
This is all happening at a time that we're starting to see a message shift here, because you're starting to hear the Republicans, especially Trump calling it the Wuhan or the Chinese coronavirus. They're looking for someone to blame.
The first U.S. case of Chinese coronavirus.
The Chinese coronavirus.
This is coming as the Chinese coronavirus.
China's coronavirus outbreak.
China's coronavirus. Outbreak anxiety. The death toll nearly doubles in China's coronavirus outbreak.
The Wuhan coronavirus.
The Wuhan coronavirus.
The 34-year-old ophthalmologist diagnosed Saturday with the Wuhan coronavirus.
The Wuhan virus.
The Wuhan coronavirus.
The Wuhan coronavirus.
But of course, as soon as it came out of the president's mouth, it immediately became racist, and the media has wasted several crucial moments during press briefings to further push these outrageous claims, or even make up false rumors that White House officials are calling the coronavirus the Kung flu.
There are at least one White House official who used the term Kung flu, referring to the fact that this virus started in China. Is that acceptable? Is it wrong? Are you worried that having this virus be talked about as a Chinese virus, that might help?
I wonder who said that. Do you know who said that?
I'm not sure the person's name.
But hold on. You can't just say that and not name them. Tell us who it was. Come up here and tell us who it was. I'd like to know, because I'll go inside.
Right, what is your message to those staffers?
No, I'd like to know.
Rather than having
Excuse me, that's been alleged. No, Yamiche, excuse me.
So is that wrong?
Yamiche, I'm not dealing in hypotheticals. Of course it's wrong. But you can't just make an accusation and not tell us who it is. Who is it? Come and tell us. Yamiche, if you want to argue, I'm going to argue about standing away from each other and washing our hands and everything.
But just
tell us who it is.
You're telling those staffers, of course it's wrong.
Who was it? Tell us. I think
how these conversations go.
I don't know. I don't know how these conversations go. And that's highly offensive. So you should tell us all who it is.
While the media has been working nonstop to make the president look bad, his approval rating from Americans and how he's been handling the virus has jumped. And even Democrat governors Andrew Cuomo and Gavin Newsom have praised the president for his response.
I spoke to the president this morning about specific actions the president is going to take. I can tell you he is fully engaged on trying to help New York. He's being very creative and very energetic, and I thank him for his partnership.
I had a private conversation with him around 4:30 West Coast time, and he said everything that I could have hoped for. And we had a very long conversation, and every single thing he said, they followed through on. Every single thing his administration, and it starts at the top, including the vice president, has been consistent with the expectation that we repatriate these passengers, and we do it in a way that does justice to the spirit that defines the best of our country and the state of California.
So don't let the mainstream media fool you. The president is not the one who has handled this pandemic irresponsibly. It's the media and their coverage that has. This has been Savannah Hernandez for Action 7 News.
Well, there's now a craze, a phenomenon of sanitizing your hands. Sanitize. You touch something, sanitize. You touch this, you touch that, you leave the house. You scratch your head, you comb your hair, you brush your teeth. You switch living room to bathroom to kitchen. Sanitize, sanitize, sanitize. Well, there is something about sanitizing your hands that I've noticed. It dries them out. And you get these dry hands. So during quarantine, you may want to be holding somebody's hand, holding your boo's hand. You got these dry hands. Not good. We have the solution at InfoWarsStore.com. Do you have dry hands from all the hand sanitizing that's going around? Good news, ladies and gentlemen. Super Silver Skin Cream from InfoWarsStore.com. InfoWarsStore.com, Super Silver Skin Cream can relieve your dry hand, can relieve the phenomenon of dry hands from all the sanitization. My favorite is the unscented Super Silver Skin Cream right here from InfoWarsStore.com. But we also have the grapefruit scented, if you like grapefruit scent. Very nice. The best grapefruit scent, it's the best. Super Silver Skin Cream. Have you sanitized your hands to total dryness? Have you completely exhausted the surface of your hands from any moisture at all? Nobody wants to touch that hand. Not even your own boo. You don't want to pet your dog with that dry hand. That's rude. That's animal abuse. Stop abusing your pets. Get some Super Silver Skin Cream from InfoWarsStore.com. That's what I'm doing.